What's good, gamers? It's been, like 7 days? Almost a week? Something like that. I don't know. We're back at it. We're summarizing episode 22 of season 1 of Dragon Ball, comparing the sub and the dub. Um, I didn't start close to the end of the intro this time just because I haven't been around, just updating kind of generally. I went to Charleston, South Carolina to pick up my grandfather's desk, um, and then help my dad build slash kind of fix um, the mountain house that he just recently bought. So it's a little, it needs work. It needs work. I'll put it that way. But I was up on the roof of the little workshop that was out there, just like moving down trees and all. It was a pretty good time. The desk got here mostly undamaged, and yeah, that's all that's been going on. I'm gonna try to crank out a couple episodes today, so I don't have to sit down and record. But if you do not recall from last episode, Krillin fought Bacterian, the smelly fucker, the guy that would just like stink. Um, but it turns out Krillin doesn't have a nose. So we started enjoying gag anime tropes. Um, and yeah, it was a pretty good fight. It's funny. It's iconic. I'll call it. Uh, yeah. The intro of this episode is just kind of summarizing that Krillin beat Bacterian's ass and then farted in his face. Which good for him, honestly. Knocked him out too. That's how bad it was. He just fucking passed out. Um, so we're moving on to the next fight this episode. That'll be between Yamcha and Jackie Chun. Um, it's interesting. I think there's a different intro um between the sub and the dub, like a different title card. Um because with the sub there's like a red ring with kanji in the middle of it, which I guess symbolizes the uh Budokai Tenkaichi. Um but it doesn't show up at all in the dub. So I wonder why they took that out. In the dub, the title card is just like a picture of each character's face. Um, and it says Yamcha versus Jackie Chun. But the actual title for this episode is Quarterfinals Begin, whereas in the sub it was Yamcha versus Jackie Chun. Um, uh, that's about it. The narrator in this episode says again, uh, Krillin had an excellent come from behind move to win, which is a play on him farting. Um, but yeah, that's it. The contestants are kind of fraternizing, whatever that is. Jackie Chun's perving on the lady. They're noticing Nam, and he's very serious. Like he's completely concentrated. In his inner monologue, we hear that his village is counting on him. And we see kind of a vision of a desert wasteland, cracks in the ground, sun beating down, a child with no shirt, no pants, just kind of like an underwear setup, um, but no water. Their well has run dry, and all they have left is some measly carrots, very small, not substantial enough to kind of feed a village. Um, all the women have red dots. I think all the men too. Um, and are clad from head to toe, and the men kind of turban, uh, diaper. That's about it. I guess diaper isn't a good word for it. That might be disrespectful, but that's what it looks like. But Nam is very serious. He is looking to win the prize money from the tournament in order to pay for, you know, goods, crops for his people. Um, and Jackie Chun picks up on this and kind of just respects his determination. Um, but the announcer calls the next contestants to the ring, being Yamcha and Jackie Chun. Um, Jackie Chun congratulates Krillin on his kick to Bacterian. Um, and Krillin kind of senses that there's something about this character. He doesn't outright say what, but he senses something. We get a shot of the contestants' room where Giran, the monster, um, is just chowing down on what appears to be drumsticks. I don't know. It's kind of like a medieval turkey leg. It's that large. Um, but he's chowing down on it right in front of Nam, who is, I guess, refusing to eat, even though his village is without food. And he comments on how wasteful Giran is about his meat because he takes a bite and then just tosses it to the side. Meanwhile, Goku comes in, and it seems like he's kind of challenging Giran a to an eating contest. Um, Nam's stomach growls, uh, and that catches Goku's attention. Um, and he's embarrassed. But Goku, being the kind hearted spirit that he is, grabs the plate of meat and brings it over to Nam in order to offer it to him. Um, he may not be very smart, but he does have a kind heart. Um, Giran slaps him on the back of the head with his tail and is kind of just throwing a fit that his food was taken away from him. Um, he's like, none of you can fuck with me. What are you gonna do? What you suck. You can't do anything to me. Um, so a lot of tension, mostly just because of Giran. We see Jackie Chan and Yamcha standing across from each other outside. Get a little bit of dialogue from Bulma and Oolong. Bulma's commenting on how, I guess, good looking Jackie Chun is. Which Oolong's like, aren't you dating Yamcha? And she's like, I don't know, I might want an upgrade. So, again, Bulma, vapid, um, bitch. I mean, I guess is the best word for it. I, I don't really have anything good to say about that. That's just awful. Um, but match begins. Um, I am uh just scrolling through my notes from the sub. When Jackie Chun passed Goku and Krillin and commented on Krillin's kick, Goku could smell Roshi in the sub. He recognized the scent. Um, uh, that's about it. The fight begins. Yamcha makes the first move with a punch and then a roundhouse kick. Jackie Chun masterfully dodges it all. He comes at Jackie Chun with a kind of wolf claw attack. I don't know what damage that would actually do, but like wolf claw. scratch damage, I guess, piercing maybe. I'm not sure. Um, but he dodges again. Oh, I see. Okay, when he goes for that like claw move, he tightens it into a like jab. Um, like a flat. So he goes like that. Um, Jackie Chun's uh masterfully dodging everything. Yamcha can't land a single hit. Um, Krillin's kind of lamenting that uh you know Yamcha's supposed to be pretty strong, and Jackie Chun's not getting hit by any of his attacks. So that means Jackie Chun has to be stronger than pretty strong. Um, Yamcha comes at him with the Wolfang Fist, the Roga Fufukin, and Jackie Chun just dodges, bounces off of some of the architecture, lands behind him. They both face opposite directions. He then flips to be in front of Yamcha. Uh, so, real acrobatics from this guy. He says, I think I'll hit you with a refreshing breeze. Clasps his palms together, reaches back, and just he's throwing a star at him or something. But the sheer force from that movement of him pulling his flat palm back and extending it in front of him uh, creates enough wind to knock Yamcha out of the ring. Um, to which everyone is just astounded. They're like, "How? How is that possible?" Um, a difference from the dub and the sub. Yamcha laments in the sub that he was beaten by an elderly man, whereas in the dub he's just kind of dumbstruck as to how it was possible that he got defeated without um, either of them laying a hand on each other. Um, to which I say, I mean, you just got outsmarted. It's that simple. Um, Roshi commented that there is waste in Yamcha's movements. Um, Goku wants to, or sorry, Jackie Chun commented that there's waste in Yamcha's movements. He says, maybe someday I'll teach you. He, Yamcha is curious about um, Jackie Chun's true identity. He thinks that he's Muten Roshi, which, if you didn't know by my slip ups, he is. He is 100% Roshi. And we get full like view of this by how he treats women. Anyway, Goku wants to comfort Yamcha. Krillin's like, you better not do that. He just lost. Um, Yamcha walks over to Krillin and Goku and is like, hey, where's your master? And they're like, he went off somewhere. I don't know. Which kind of confirms his suspicions about Roshi being Jackie Chun. Um, Jackie Chun messing around with Lan Feng. At least I think that's her name in this in the dub. Um, Jackie Chun uh senses extreme resolve within Nam, and I don't know that he's ever done this again in the series, but he kind of reads Nam's thoughts. Like he connects with him on a spiritual level and can see kind of his past, and knows what kind of struggle his village is going through and the stakes that await him in this tournament. So there's that. Just taking a look. Yeah, doesn't say her name in here anywhere. I guess it's not that important. Lan Feng is the purple-haired lady, but Nam and her uh reach opposite ends to face off as it is time for their match. She asks Nam to go easy on her. So, match 3 begins. They both take their stances. Lan Feng winks at Nam, and he's, kind of embarrassed. And then she comes full force at him. So, it seems like it's a tactic to catch him off guard. He goes to counterattack, and she screams. So he flinches and only barely hits her. And then she breaks down in tears after that hit. And he's just absolutely dumbstruck. Um, Jackie Chun is pissed that Nam would make a girl cry. Uh, and it seems like he's not all too happy about it either. Um, she's sure taken a while to do it. He's edging closer, and she moves to strike him uh, right in the right underneath the pec. Uh, so fatal blow for him. But he takes that like a champ. She throws another punch. He catches it, and he says, "If that's the way it's gonna be, that's how it's gonna be. Um, if if you want to be treated like a man, I'll treat you like a man. Equal rights, equal fights." He takes this stance. He kind of squats, and places his arms above his head, kind of in a meditative stance. It seems like. Um, he takes kind of a squatted approach, and he masterfully blocks every hit that she throws at him, kind of with a knife hand. Uh, oh my god, yeah, he doesn't seem to like ball up his fists ever. It's always knife hands. Um, anyway, she begins to strip, and she says, "Okay, time for my ultimate attack." And naturally, Nam, being a pure-hearted man, will not look at her because she is not butt naked, but she's in her underwear. Naturally, Roshi's loving it. He says, "Jiggly, jiggly." Oh man. Um. Oh, I gotta rewind this. This is the part that I was just trying to. Yeah, she's just in the dub. She's just kind of like calling for Nam. Um, whereas in the sub, she says "coochie coochie coochie," um, which these days for American audiences means a different thing. Um, but coochie coochie coochie. She says, "What's the matter, Nam? Like what you see?" As she walks towards him, and he's almost reached the uh, edge of the ring. she's ready to pounce, and he can't really do anything because he can't look at her. Um, but he's suddenly hit with a vision of his village and how it's suffering. Um, and that kind of gives him some resolve. We see that the village pooled together all of the money that they could find in order to cover his expenses to come to this tournament. He says everyone is counting on me, and Lan Feng is pretty confident that she'll take this. She starts moving towards him, and Nam realizes if I just don't look at her, I can win this. So he, I suppose, picks up on the sound of her movements, um, dodges after she makes a swipe at him, lands behind her, and knocks her out. She is face down on the floor, with her butt cheeks hanging out of her underwear. So naturally, you know what's gonna happen. Her feet are twitching. Nam's like, "Is she okay?" Uh, as the contestants kind of watch on with blank expressions. Um, Jackie Chun rushes into the ring, trying to wake her up. Um, in the dub, he says, "Shake it off, shake it off." Um, in the sub, or no, in the sub, he says, "Just shake it off, shake it off." But in the dub, he says, "I'm checking for a heartbeat," as he's rubbing her tuchus. And naturally, that gives Yamcha a little more suspicion about him being Roshi. And that's the end of the episode. Uh, Not confident about how this one went. Feel like it was a little dry, but it's okay. The summary is Nam beat Lan Feng and Jackie Chun beat Yamcha. So we will get to see next episode Goku versus Giran. Um, if you want to see that, fucking do the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, bell icon, comment. Yeah. Bye.